Are there any changes to the agenda? If none,
None. So,
okay. Need approval of the minutes, or does anybody object to the minutes presented? Okay, those are approved. Is there anyone from the public that would like to make a comment? Are you out there? Nope.
No public.
No public. Financial statement, would that be you?
I think so. So we're gonna try to get through this pretty quickly because you had to listen to me all day yesterday. So we're gonna jump into page 7 in the packet, the statistics. And we're gonna start out with some negative information when we look at line 8, acute patient days. A real low number here for the month of October, 72. Budget 134, last year 121. Then even moving over to the year to date, we're also lagging behind. 371 actual, 533 budget, and then 523 a year ago after 4 months. So the acute side has not been real strong so far this fiscal year. We do have some really good trends happening as I speak in the month of November. So November, we have seen quite a bit of rebound. Mark, is it mostly with influenza, not so much on COVID?
Not for admissions as much. We have had a few admissions that were influenza. It's just general
Stuff. Huh?
General stuff. Yeah.
Okay, but November has come back a little bit, so we're encouraged.
Yeah, we're looking like we'll probably end up about 120.
Yeah, that's much better.
Much better, which is where we were here today.
Yeah. To put that together with the acute gross charges, when we get over to the income statement, you'll see that variance as a significant number in October compared to budget, 35% below budget on acute. So that's a big number as far as the difference between what happened and what we expected. On the positive side, the ED continues to be strong. If you look at line 32, we had 639 ER visits, budget 611, last year 589. Year to date, we're tracking ahead of budget as well on the ED. So that continues to be a strong, a little bit down on clinic this month, 1250 compared to 394. Last year was 1431.
Yeah, for ER this year, we're at 642 and we still got another day to go. So
Now
yeah,
that,
we are looking good there.
that's probably due to the influenza. Right?
Yeah, that could.
Yeah, the ER visits are up because of the people showing up for cold and flu season. Yes.
Now, because of a combination of lower volumes and revenues and a lack of IGT causing the cash balances to drop, we're seeing the corresponding drop in financial strength index down to 2.31 in the month of October. It's still in the good category, but definitely a lot less than where we peaked out at around 4 about a year ago. So we're expecting to see that number climb back up as soon as the cash gets better and the IGTs start coming in. We still expect cash to finish the year even better than where we started the year, and even though it's down like 4 million right now. So hopefully those IGTs will come in.
How much further can it go down before it becomes not good?
I'd say if we go another 3-4 months without any IGT payments, then I'm going to be really needing to get answers for everyone on what we should expect for this year if the state's getting that far behind on making payments.
But we have reason to believe we're going to get it. So you're you're,
So, but I still have to accrue a little bit less on the bottom line because I can't be as confident as I was maybe 6 months ago because we're not getting anything in at all so far. That we at least expected a little bit by this time of the year, and we haven't received anything so far.
yeah, that'll be good. Thanks.
And it doesn't take much for a CFO to get pessimistic about those kind of things. I did try to put a positive comment here, although I have to caveat it. This number one positive takeaways. Keep in mind this ERC program, if it comes to fruition, has the potential to completely wipe out any negative amounts that we've recorded so far compared to budget. If we get the ERC monies, we budgeted 0 there, and that transforms into 2.8 million. That'll clearly result in us having a favorable year. But again, that's still in the if category. We have no assurances at this stage. We've been told to expect the next 3 to 4 months to get a final determination on whether that money's coming in or not. So it won't be too much longer. We'll have a better level of confidence on the IGT application that we, or not, excuse me, the ERC application that we put in.
Dave, I don't know if I can ask this question or not. Chet, is he available for talking to about, because he had some special connections with some of those people at IGT. I don't know, is he?
We know the same people. Yeah, we've
Okay,
gotten
okay.
connected in with
All right.
health systems
Okay.
and so forth. So
All right, thank you.
we still have some conversations to have, I think, with HealthNet yet. So
Yeah, good points. All that history is very valuable in terms of all the foundation work that he laid for us that we have to piggyback on and make sure we don't lose that momentum.
you may, Dave, check his emails. I know you have access to them to find out, because I know he used to have regular communications with HealthNet as well with regards to the IGT.
Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Carrie, can you reinstate that for me? I think you have the capability.
Yeah, we should be able to do that, no problem.
Okay, yeah, because I don't remember specifically looking for HealthNet emails, but that would be a good idea.
Yeah.
You can see how the gradual decline on cash all sources without that IGT money, that's a couple $1,000,000 there going down. You can see the similar decline here in strength index. Our first negative month in a long time, we had a little one here. So that hopefully doesn't happen too often. ER staying strong. And then I added this table down here because I think a picture tells 1,000 words. If you look at when IGT money historically comes in, going back to fiscal 19, fiscal 20, fiscal 21, all the different months on when we received monies, looking at the first 4 months of the year, generally we had over $1 million by this time. And this year, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. And then I could even put another 0 in November. We're not getting anything. So that's, that's why the bottom line doesn't look as good as it could. Again, we still believe that we're going to be close to this budgeted number. So as long as that comes in, the timing is kind of a moot point.
Dave, is there a reason why that they're behind? I mean, that far behind, are they saying they're short-handed? Or
It's just happening to all the hospitals. We're not the only ones affected by this. Every district hospital in the state is showing the same result here.
Well, why?
There was some discrepancies in the grand totals last year that caused them to call a timeout and to say, wait a minute, we want to reconcile this, and we need to go through more detailed analysis so that these hospitals aren't being overpaid.
Thank you.
And that's the only thing I heard so far.
Thank you.
My notes here on assets and liabilities, there's not a whole lot of new things going on with either the balance sheet items that I have to talk about. We're going to keep this meeting short. The monthly financials. So here's that 35% line 1 negative variance. That's a very high negative variance in the inpatient acute area for the month of October. Nets out to a 14% negative for all services. So that just starts the negative type of trend. We pick up 600,000, but we still end up about 600,000 off a budget when you look at line 13 for operating revenues in terms of the amount coming in. The 77% number, usually for two different reasons. One is that the payers that don't pay us very well is a bigger part of our mix, and or we have a significantly less percentage of IGT money coming in. And in this case, it's the IGT issue that's causing this deductions percentage to get so high, because we're not showing a whole lot of expected IGT monies at this stage. So that 2.2 million is a very low number on line 13 compared to what it usually is every month. It's usually closer to $2.83 billion. You can see last year in October, it was 2,737,000. We also had some timing issues, some old invoices that were paid on contract labor. So that showed a big number for the month. So this wasn't all in the month of October. This was the catch up on some year-to-date invoices showing this big negative variance on contract labor. Even with that, we still finished the month below budget on expenses, which is a good thing, 73,000, despite the 115,000 over budget on contract labor. We did fine on the non-operating. We continue to show monies coming in off of the COVID grants from prior years. So that's continuing to look fine. We don't have any reason to think that we have any paybacks of new information. You can see the 0 on IGT last year. We had 316, I think we had last year in October, and then year to date on the IGT we had 728 year to date. Still showing the projected IGT number there. Year to date, see what I got in my notes. Anything else I want to say? The 208,000 here is how much less than budget we are on operating expenses for the year. So we continue to do a good job managing our costs year to date. That's a favorable trend. Bottom line, $500,000. We're a third of the way through the fiscal year. So even without any IGT, if you multiply this number times 3, 1.5 million as a year-end number isn't a terrible number, and that's without the IGTs. So you would think with the IGTs we should be up in the 3 to 4 million range, assuming all that comes in as we expected.
Dave, isn't half of that IGT money our money anyway?
There is a portion of it. It's about a little bit less than a third. Some IGTs require 100% match, some of them don't. But you're right. When we actually show the cash coming in, part of that is money that is a matched money that we just get our own money back.
So we almost have to get some back.
But the good news is we haven't had to pay anything out either yet. So there's really not anything at risk until they ask for a payment. And then typically 3 to 4 weeks later, we get the double the check amount on those programs that require matching.
Okay, thank you.
So I don't have anything more earth-shattering on the financials. Again, a lot of this you know, we can wring our hands and say these numbers are not hitting our target budget numbers, but they could easily swing back the other way because we know the reasons why they're less, and those are all fixable things that even though they're out of our control, we don't have any reason to think that they can't be fixed by the end of the year.
Well, thank you. Barbara, are you there? Barbara?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
Hello?
Go ahead. I'll get out of this.
The local aging,
The local aging, you can see the total is $30,270, and this was as of 11/21. The $2,500 invoice is one that has been paid since this was run.
okay. Okay, I'm sorry, go ahead. It looks good to me.
Do you have any?
No, I
Questions?
thought-
Okay, that's good. Now we'll go to new business, no old business. And the Alta Sierra Broadcasting, is that, I thought we did that annually. Is that annual? Or
It's a monthly
just-
contract.
Okay, there's nothing, okay.
It's, yeah.
Gary Hicks Consulting, is that Dave through some of your stuff that you're doing?
Yeah, I've been working with Gary. He's real helpful on a number of fronts, helping us stay on track with the looking at potential new financing plus investments.
Cool. Northcutt and Associates, what are they doing for us? I know they've done some environmental stuff.
Yeah, I'm not sure why we have that on here. Again, it wasn't an ongoing contract. It was, we contracted with her to do some of the work on the new construction here, because we did some things with her, I think, for the 3 lots, when we're merging the 3 lots across the street. We did
Did some
other things.
Indian work.
Yeah, as needed.
I can't say Indian, Native American
I don't know.
work. Yeah, she had to look for shells and bones.
Oh, she's more of a zoning type person
Yeah.
and stuff like that we use.
Just some of those environmental impacts.
The environmental impact, that's the biggest thing she does, right?
Okay.
Right.
It looks good to me, Barbara. Catherine, do you have any questions, or anyone? Takes capital expenditure.
Oh, wait a second, on, Barbara, just going back
Yes.
on Care Fusion, we're taking that contract off. We're dropping that one.
On Care Fusion?
Yeah, Care Fusion, yeah, I just processed that. That is, was on the old single tower Pyxis unit that we had. And that was replaced with a dual. Carrie and I looked at that this morning.
Yeah,
So,
Oh, okay.
I mean, there's nothing we need to cancel. I think it's just.
yeah, it's just, I don't,
Absorb into it.
I think it rolls over into the new one.
yeah, we need to make sure of that though.
Yeah.
But this
Okay.
particular one, yeah, from 2015 is no longer valid anymore.
Okay.
Okay, is the guy here, I think it said Scales.
Oh, that's Mark.
Oh, is that Mark?
Yeah, that's me. So we have, for the longest time, prepared medications based on stated weights of patients in the ER. It's not exactly scientific, and with some of the critical drugs that we're using back there, I think that it's been requested that we get a scale that can measure the weight of a patient without having to get them out of bed and get them on a scale itself. So this particular scale that I'm looking at is actually a unit that mounts to the side of the wall as you're coming into the ER. It folds down, you can run the gurney right up on it. It creates a weight, or it measures the patient's weight along with the gurney. Then we push the gurney into the room, and then we come back and we weigh the gurney and we subtract that weight to get a tear weight. My plan is to do a tear weight on all of the gurneys in the ER and have that labeled labeled at the end of the, like at the foot of the bed, so we already know what those weights are. And so then I can get an accurate kilogram weight on every patient that comes into the ER.
Mark, some of the beds, now I know that the emergency beds are different. Some of the beds measure you and they know how much the bed weighs. They automatically do it that way.
Yeah, I get that. And I would have to spend far and away a lot more money on every bed being able to measure the weight. The ones out on acute care measure the weight. They do that automatically. Most of the ones that I have a weight in them, but the ones I'm talking about are in the ER where we don't have that capability.
Yeah. The stated weight, a lot of people don't know what they weigh. They don't want to know what they weigh.
That's exactly right.
I can see why it's very important because we need to wait.
Yes.
Do we need a motion for that?
Yeah.
I can certainly take this to the Pink Ladies or to the foundation if you guys think that's
Yeah, I think that's a good
I
idea.
think we definitely need it. I mean, very important.
yeah. Gene, what do you think about taking it to the foundation to see if they'll help us out with that?
Yeah.
Okay, after we get the motion, after we approve it. Catherine?
Yeah, well, what I'll do is I'll just take it to the foundation after we get it approved. I mean, we're going to buy this anyway on your recommendation today, but I think it's
Where the money comes from, right?
It still
To see
needs
if
to
we
go
can
to
get
the
the
full
money.
board.
Yeah, right.
It'll go to the full board on December 12th and then you.
Okay, should we send it to consent, Catherine?
Yes, I think we need it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we didn't need a motion, we just need consent.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Of course.
You did so good today, you should get a bonus. Meetings adjourned.
We didn't, I don't think we broke any records, but we came close.
Cool.
But, this was good for Barbara and I. We've got November 30th deadlines with cost reports and all kinds of important deadlines so this has been a busy day for us.
Well, you got a little extra time. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
Barbara,
Thank
too.
you.